Bill Murray is every analyst's nightmare as the lovable neurotic who latches onto his doctor. Richard Dreyfuss co-stars in What About Bob on the Movie Channel.
We're heading for Sturgis. The bad boys and girls of WCW straddle their hogs and head for the world-famous Sturgis Rally. We're going to take you places you've never seen before. You'll smell the gasoline burning and hear the tires squeal. Make the ride to Sturgis for WCW's Hog Wild. Saturday, August 10th, live and only on pay-per-view. ESPN turns back the hands of time and looks at two legendary boxers. Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard fight again on Super Bouts. Spend an hour in the joint as A&E visits the toughest prisons in the country and meets the men who call a cell home on Investigative Reports.
Happy Sunday. What's going on, guys? Classic WWE watch-along time. No Way Out 2001. Excuse me, I was just coughing right before we went live here. I apologize for that. But we are up here now to watch the show that you guys voted on. No Way Out 2001 put up a poll yesterday. The channel members selected a handful of shows that I liked. I picked the 4 that I liked the most, threw them up in a poll, and No Way Out 2001 won by a landslide. So that's what we're here to watch today. Hope you guys are having a good one. I'm going to make sure I can get the chat pulled up so I can see you guys and all that good stuff. And make sure that we can be seen and heard and all that good nonsense. All right, we are good over here. I got my Peacock over here. Sorry, I was just scrambling a little bit to get ready for this thing, and I wasn't quite ready by the time my hourglass ran out. So we are here now. We've got Sunday Night Football tonight. I believe it's Giants-Cowboys. So I've got that on the tube over here. I got Peacock pulled up over here, and we're going to be watching the 3 Stages of Hell. Great match between Stone Cold, Steve Austin, and Triple H. Austin finally kind of repaying Triple H for all that bullshit he pulled in '99, not wanting to drop the title to him. And also, Kurt Angle defending the WWE title against The Rock, which of course would set up Houston, we have a problem at WrestleMania 17. So that's what we're here to watch today. Good to see everybody who's already here. Cruise up to the chat and say hi to everyone. Good to see all the channel members in here, like Tatanani is in the house. We also have Zach. We have, who else? David Brown. I'm sorry, Tatanani and Zach. You guys the only ones in here so far, the channel members. But I'm glad y'all are here. Also, Vash, Juliet. We've got Ultimate WWE Fan for Life. Colin Wright is in the house. We've got Ray Fran, Ben, Fox Star Killer. Who else is here? Victor Colon in the house. Good to see as well, my friend, another channel member joining us. We've got Justin Kong Lang in the house. We got David Brown. We've got Andy Linnell. Who else we got in here? We Are Pro Wrestling. Good to see you. Just in case we have any questions about this show, but I'm pretty good with my 2001 knowledge, so we should be good, but I'm glad you're here. Oh, I didn't realize you're recovering. What were you recovering from? Hopefully you're doing well, my friend. And Joe Brill is in the house as well. Gerard is here. Right on. We got a nice little crew in here for a really fun Sunday evening of wrestling. I'm looking forward to this one. George Morris is here as well. Thanks for the $5, dude. Hey, Greg, how are you doing and how are your cats? No Way Out 2001, 10 out of 10. This was during the year of hell, 2001, the year of hell. How about you? 2001 was a pretty good year for me, although, it's a pretty dark year in our, nation's history. Of course, this was just, 6-7 months before 9/11 when this show went down. But 2001 was a pretty fun year for me. I was going to a lot of wrestling shows still. I made a big life-changing move that year, moving from a smaller town inland in North Carolina down to the beach, which turned out to be the best decision of my life and was a stepping stone to get out here to California. So 2001 was pretty good overall for me. However, like I said, it wasn't all great because the invasion was a complete flop. Of course, 9/11 took place, and things were starting to change in 2001. It was a very big newsworthy year. I mean, WWE purchasing WCW, that's every bit of as big of a story, I believe, as Vince McMahon stepping away from WWE this year. So it was a big deal in 2001. That's why it's always good to look back at shows from this time period, because we all know how great it is. Oh, I'm sorry. Giants-Cowboys is tomorrow night. Broncos-Niners is now. That's right. It's right here. I've got Football Night in America pulled up on my NBC. Good to see Tony Dungy still on that panel there. So I guess Giants-Cowboys is tomorrow, which might do better for us, because I feel like less people would give a shit about Broncos and Niners, but I could be wrong. Eagles won today. Good for you, Andy. 3-0 Eagles. Wow. I saw the Lions came up short again, although put up a pretty good effort. Only lost by 4 on the road to Minnesota. And as you guys were letting me know, the Lions were profiled in the latest Hard Knocks, and apparently they got a coach there that is a pretty good motivator. So we'll see if the Lions can finally start winning some games, but Greg ain't holding his breath. That's for sure. Well, since we've been jibber-jabbering, hopefully that has allowed you guys enough time to pull up your Peacock. Of course, those of you who are here every week, you know the deal. Those of you who are not, we watch everything on Peacock, and we just follow along from there. Once we all hit play together, the timer in the upper right of the screen will begin to run, and all you got to do throughout the night is just follow along with that. If you need to pause for any reason or step away, or your internet shuts down, or you lose power, or you move to Tahiti, or whatever, when you come back, just make sure your Peacock is synced up with a timer in the upper right, and we can all follow along together. I will do the same thing, and it's been pretty fun for a year plus now that we've been doing these watch-alongs and watching a lot of shows that I haven't really seen in a long time, and I can't tell you the last time I really went back and watched No Way Out 2001. I don't even remember. I'm sure I've seen clips and bits and pieces of Triple H and Steve Austin because this match was pretty epic, and, you know, it came right before their alliance and the two-man power trip and all of that, so I know this match was talked about, but, you know, other than that, I don't remember much. I do remember a botch, I believe, and I'm curious to see if it's going to be edited out of Peacock or not. Probably not. But I know there's some sort of a botch in the main event with The Rock and Kurt Angle. I think Earl Hebner comes up short on a 3 count or something when it was supposed to be the finish, and they basically just had to redo the sequence and do it again. And I think that's what goes down. Incidentally, I have No Way Out 2001 on VHS. This was probably one of the final WWE VHS tapes I bought, because around this time was when they started coming out with DVDs, around 2001, 2002. So this was probably one of the final tapes that I bought. Actually, I take that back. I think in 2002 I collected some tapes as well, because I know I have WrestleMania 18 on cassette on VHS. So we're getting down to the end of VHSs and about to move into DVDs, at least in my collecting life. But I went ahead and pulled this one out. We'll set it right there in the background just for fun. All right, I got all my gear together. I got my nice toasty alcoholic beverage. Stella is back. Stella in the bottles are back. I've been drinking the Stone Cold Broken Lagers last couple of weeks, and I went through an 8-pack of Stella cans, which were small and skinny and girly, but I drank every one because Greg does not discriminate. Beer's beer. So we are ready to rock. Hopefully you guys are as well. The runtime, according to Peacock, for No Way Out is 2 hours, 39 minutes, 56 seconds. So we'll be starting this, and just like always, it'll be a solid 3-hour stream from start to finish, which is good that these pay-per-views usually last in the 2-hour and 40-minute mark. So we will see this show open up. I'm curious if there's going to be a shit ton of dubbing, because I have no clue what they use for, you know, the video package in the beginning of the pay-per-view, any sort of rock or heavy metal song that they would probably use back in these days. I'm not sure if all that shit's going to be edited out. It probably will, because we saw some pretty horrifying edits last week when we watched Unforgiven 99 last Sunday. I love it, Ray Friend. Yes, the Stellas got their groove back. It's about time. This is my trademark, and I have not drank a good old green bottle of Stella in several weeks. So, yeah, it's got his groove back. My Eagle. So Andy Linnell apparently is the owner of the Eagles, because his Eagles play Jacksonville next week, and your Eagles should win because they're playing Jacksonville. So good luck to you, Andy. Mongolian Chop, you only saw the Triple H Austin match. I know I saw this pay-per-view the night of because I ordered it on pay-per-view. I have the full-on pay-per-view recorded version, complete with the hour-long Sunday Night Heat. I have all of that in my DVD and my hard drive collection, but I haven't gone back and really watched this in years. So it should be fun. Love watching these old pay-per-views, Zach. Good to see a member for 2 months. Deshaun Robinson in here as well. Another member for 2 months. That icon is about to change on month 3, so that'll be cool. Hey, Greg and crew, I'm back. Sorry for being MIA. Well, we talked about it, Deshaun, and we voted to give you one final chance. Before you came in here, we all kind of discussed your situation and if we were even going to put up with any of your bullshit anymore. And we kind of discussed as a group that we would allow you back provided you don't ever do it again. So as long as you could promise and pinky swear to all of us that you're never going to be late again, you can stick around, Deshaun. It's all good, my friend. Anywho, let's get our Peacock pulled up. No Way Out 2001. Like I said, it's going to be 2 hours, 39 minutes, 56 seconds. You're going to want to go to No Way Out Season 3, Episode 1. If you have any ads to watch, go ahead and get that done. I'm just going to give mine a refresh because I already had my... Whoop, we don't want to go that far. So just get all 5 of your zeros across the board there. And I will attempt to not start mine. There we go. All right, all your zeros are down there. And we will hit play together in just a second. I just got to prep my mouses, and we're going to be ready to rock. All right, organize myself here. One finger on the timer, one finger on the Peacock, and play is about to happen. So let me get set up. Hopefully you guys are queued up as well. All right, right on. Y'all ready? Let's do a countdown from 3 and hit play. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Asuka, double thumbs up. All right, we are good. Like I said, don't skip any intros if it does give you the option to do that. Right on. Peacock's volume being in the upper right is so weird to me. This doesn't really sound like it might be edited. This looks like some old school WWE production music, so that's kind of good. I could be wrong, though. Oh, Kurt Angle's going to shut his big fat mouth up, huh? It is weird how these two literally got together just months after, Triple H was revealed as the mastermind to take out Triple H or Stone Cold. Which one is the Vader Foley Halloween Havoc? 93, I believe. Oh yeah, 93. Two more. Two people have confirmed that I'm right. Look at there. Look at there. That was one of my favorite segments leading up to this match when they did that contract signing. And Triple H, it was brilliant. That's why Triple H, that was the night that, he epitomized himself as the cerebral assassin, because the way he tricked Austin into signing that contract. Because the stip was they can't touch each other once the contract is signed. Austin signed his. Triple H faked him out and then beat the shit out of him and then revealed that he didn't sign it, and then he signed it at the end. That was great stuff. That was one of my favorite contract signings ever. Might be my favorite ever. It was so good. What's up, Deshaun? You're back, chiming in. $5. I missed the AEW watch along because I was at Grand Slam. Oh, yeah, okay, so that gives you an excuse. And I've been busy at work. Okay, that's a fair enough excuse as well. I will be at Giants Cowboys game tomorrow. Well, it's a good thing I'm not doing a Raw review tomorrow, or we might just have to block you, Deshaun. I'm kidding. Those are very excellent excuses to not be here. I hope you have a good time tomorrow at the Giants Cowboys game. No way out. No alternative. Yeah, a lot of people like this No Way Out. I guess it's going to be nice to relive this one. I mentioned yesterday in the podcast that this is the show that I was hoping wouldn't win. It's not because I didn't want to watch it, but I really thought like Taboo Tuesday might be a little more fun for us to watch. But I'm glad we're watching this one because Triple H and Austin had a fucking barn burner. I don't remember much about the undercard, but they're in Vegas. Thomas and Mac, by the way, cheers to you. We're going to eat a green gummy today. I can't tell if this is edited music or not. Wow. So look at where we are right now. So this is, help me out, We Are Pro Wrestling. Seeing Lawler here, he must leave the next week. Lawler must be leaving the WWE like within several days of this show, because I'm surprised to even see him on commentary. I think he bounced just a week or two before maybe the buyout of WCW. And that's another thing you got to remember. WCW is currently still in business, and they are running Nitros, but just barely. Just barely. What's the date of this show? Let's just highlight this in my title. It is February 25th. Okay. Oh, and today's September 25th. That's cool. So, yeah, this was just a couple of days. So I think that I'm willing to bet that whatever the next set of TV tapings were, that's when the cat was going to be fired, and that's when Lawler decided to leave with her. Yeah, Raven. I was happy to see Raven in WWE, but I also knew that he wasn't going to be like he was in ECW. But it was also kind of cool to see, Raven back in WWE, because his run there in the early 90s when he was Johnny Polo, they were having him do all sorts of shit. I think he was even working in the office in some capacity, because he was doing a lot of the studio shows and, who the fuck is that? Oh, yeah. Who's in the, is that Molly? I forgot who's in the black there. Stop sign. Yeah, this will definitely be the King's last pay-per-view. We know that, but I'm saying because he wouldn't call Mania, Heyman would. But I'm curious when he exactly left. I swear it has to be like the next day or something. We are really close to him bouncing out of there and Heyman coming in. And I was at the Raw where the King returned in 2001, night after Survivor Series. Charlotte, Ric Flair came back too that night. And I was in the building. But we had already heard. It was leaked. Even prior to Survivor Series, I remember talking to my friends that Lawler will be back soon. Yuchiro, what's up? Sorry, Greg, I'm late. It's going to have to be up to the chat if they forgive you or not. I have to do whatever they say. Fucking fire extinguishers. Oh, that's right, Tori. Tori was his ninja. This was one of my least favorite Big Show ring attires. Who the fuck is that? Who the hell is this? Oh, is it Crash? Oh, no, it's Dudley. No? It's Saturn? I literally cannot tell who that is. I thought it was... Oh, it is Crash Holly. Okay, I was about to say, what the fuck? It's Crash. It's got to be Crash. Fucking popcorn. And now Blackman's in here? Oh, is this because of the 24/7 rule? Oh, shit. Here comes Bob Holly, too. God, Bob Holly was always in great shape. I thought it was Spike because I thought he was going for the acid drop, but then it was way too big to be Spike. But it's Crash. You could tell by the hair. Oh, here comes Billy. The one Billy Gunn. He's the one, y'all. Oh, no. The one Billy Gunn. So his music plays. They're still brawling in the popcorn. God, this ring's a mess already. One match in. I thought I spotted Tie-Dye Guy for a minute there, who I've met a couple times, but now I don't see him. Ooh. Look at them working together. And now Blackman covers him. Well, that was stupid. So I love that this match is kind of over, but it's not. Oh, Raven just won the title, and now Crash. Nope. Crash got a near fall. Crash Holly's dressed like, oh my God, he's in the Geek Squad. Here comes Tori. Oh yeah, you can totally tell that's Tori. With her eyes and two other things that make it really obvious. Oh, and she got nailed by Molly. By Super Molly. What's her name? Super Molly. Mighty Molly. Oh. Now the Big Show wins. Well, I figured the final finish has got to be one of the two original people in the match. That was my thought of this, and I guess that's what happened. Maybe we need a rematch between these two on Dynamite, Billy and Big Show. Or Captain Insano that Tony Khan keeps teasing for some reason. And we got a 0-0 game between two 1-1 teams. They look to be in Denver, I guess. I really didn't like Big Show and Billy Gunn's theme song. I just didn't like the singing. I also hated Undertaker's "You're Gonna Pay." Ugh, so terrible. Not every WWE theme song was good. They had some stinkers, man. I didn't love it really. I guess it fit him, but I didn't really like Eric Bischoff's either. Because when they brought him back the first night, I'm pretty sure he came out to AC/DC Back in Black. But then they decided they didn't want to pay for those rights anymore, so then they made their own Back in Black song, which sucked. And that one, The Undertaker's, Big Show's, and Billy Gunn's, I always kind of lumped together. Kevin Kelly.
Well, actually, Kurt, I'm wondering how you feel about your big match tonight.
I'm doing just fine. I'm not sure how The Rock is doing after the beating I gave last Thursday on SmackDown, but I'm doing super.
He's doing super.
Fitting that we're having this match here in Las Vegas, because Las Vegas has the highest percentage of losers than any other city in this country. And tonight, there will be one more loser added to that list, and that's the Brahma Bull. Excuse me.
Driver, get my bags. Holy shit. Fatal 4-way IC title, Jericho, X-Pac, Eddie, and Benoit. Find me 4 better in-ring workers at that time. Holy shit. Chris, Eddie.
Now, how are you going to be able to coexist not only with each other but also with X-Pac and Chris Jericho?
You know, the only thing that matters right now, Lillian, is the Intercontinental title plus the personal vendetta that I have against Chris Jericho. He put me out for 2 months. Well, tonight, he goes out and says, and X-Pac, you step in the way, you'll be right with him.
I mean, that match could have happened in WCW. They were all there together.
We can coexist, Lillian. We understand it.
Pretty sure Eddie and X-Pac had like a ladder match.
Say this, one of us is going to walk out with that Intercontinental title, and there is no proving that wrong.
What's up, Divine Ricks? Take me back to 2001. I believe Steve Austin, Triple H, Rock, and Kurt were all on top of their game. Yeah, they definitely were. I thought Austin came back after surgery a lot better. He seemed a lot more mobile in the ring. His first couple of matches back, I'm like, wow, he reminds me a little bit of Austin before the pile driver. He can move and bump around a little more. Jericho, always with that title, it seems like. Well, Jericho must retain here because I do know that he goes into Mania and faces, I believe, William Regal. Or maybe it's the following year. Imagine replacing X-Pac with Kurt Angle in this match. Well, they kind of did that. They came close to that at WrestleMania the previous year with that triple threat. But you add Eddie to that. Hell yeah. And X-Pac, no discrediting him at all. But if you did put Kurt Angle in there, then that might be the 4 solidest workers, most solid workers they had at the time. And even though X-Pac was awesome, X-Pac still had his problems. Another theme that was really bad was X Factors. Oh, my God. Every time I heard that, I just wanted to barf. There's a Brother Cracker or whatever sang it. Fuck that song. And X-Pac never won the Intercontinental title. X-Pac, yeah. Oh, that would be great, actually, Ray. If X-Pac and Eddie formed a tag team, they could be called X-Pac Heat. That would actually be good. Why didn't they think of that? We are X-Pac Heat, Holmes. Eddie was on the verge of I think, being ratted out by his friends, and they let him go. Eddie would take much of 2001 off, I believe, work on the indies. I think he famously has a match with CM Punk at some point down the road within the next year after this, until he would come back the following year in 02 in a much better place. I always loved Howard Finkel's Chris Benoit. We got half the radicals in there against Jericho, saying, Jericho, like, I got you here first. Me and Waltman, we jumped off that ship way before y'all did. That's interesting, Fox Star Killer. I didn't know that. Oh, thanks for the emojis, Zach. I did get. We had a couple more channel members join, so I think I can add a couple more emojis. So we'll give these some updates here. I'll work on that this week for our next watch along, and we will be here Wednesday. By the way, I mentioned yesterday in the podcast that maybe I wouldn't be, but we will. Right before the invasion, they fired Eddie. Yeah, that's right. Benoit and Eddie were just 1 year in at this point. The 3 stages of a hell match is so stupid because they have the steel cage up there. Well, I mean, I guess you'd have to put it up there just in case anyway, but whenever they have a match that's booked like that, where the first fall is this and the last fall is like something special, you know you're going to get to the last fall. So, and we knew that going into this, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, why should Austin and Triple H even go through these brutal first 2 matches when we know they're just going to split them to move into the steel cage or whatever? So I didn't really like matches that were structured that way because I felt like they gave away the finish a lot. I always liked it, and I liked the 2 out of 3 fall matches, which it does happen quite often. I love 2 out of 3 fall matches when it's a 2-0 finish, when somebody just wins 2 falls in a row and calls it a day. I like that. It's more realistic. Yeah, I liked this X-Pac theme. I just hated his X-Factor theme. This one was good. Oh, is Eddie going to try to frog splash these guys? Oof. Yeah, Eddie really did seem like he came back better than ever in 02, didn't he? Oh, yeah, this is also when the XFL just started, don't forget. I think they had just launched that or were about to launch it. Yeah, we are. It's funny that you mentioned that because last night when he's saying that had they not done the Hell in the Cell Armageddon in December, Austin Triple H Hell in the Cell would have been perfect. That's where they should have probably blown this whole thing off, but they did the big match in Armageddon. So the funny thing is last night, once it was decided that we were going to do No Way Out 2001, I hit the internet so I could make a thumbnail. So I was like, well, let's make the thumbnail something Triple H and Austin related. And I come across this picture of Austin and Triple H fighting on the outside of what is a Hell in the Cell. And I'm like, wait, I was like, that's not a cage, because I was looking for pictures of the match, and I'm like, that's not the cage from the 3rd stage of Hell. They are outside of the ring. That's a cell. When the hell did Triple H and Austin face each other in the Hell in the Cell? I stared at that picture for 10 minutes being like, okay, I know I forget shit sometimes, but I know for a fact these 2 guys have never faced one-on-one in a cell. So where the hell is this picture from? And then I remembered Armageddon 2000 when there was that 6-man deal and Kurt Angle retained the title. Rikishi fell off the top into the truck and all of that. But just to sit here and me like thinking I Mandela'd myself Mandela affected myself into misremembering a Triple H and Steve Austin Hell in the Cell. I'm like, how do I not remember this? And how have I never talked about it on a podcast? And, sitting to try to figure this out was cracking me up. And then it hit me. I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay. That all checks out. Yeah. So luckily, what's interesting is last week, the watch along, we watched Jericho and X-Pac face one-on-one. Unforgiven 99, about a year and a half prior to this event. I have watched Chris Benoit and Jericho wrestle one-on-one against each other probably 5 times, and I've seen the Intercontinental title change hands between the two of them twice. I've also seen Chyna win the Intercontinental title. I've seen Ricky the Dragon Steamboat win the Intercontinental title. I've seen Jericho win the Intercontinental title. Oh, wow. Latino eat! Oh, no. Damn. Eddie and Benoit, come on, you guys are friends. Fun fact, WWE never had a Hell in the Cell match in 2001. That's right, they didn't, did they? They were too busy messing around with the Invasion. What a suplex to Benoit, Jesus. It looks like Niners might be on the board here. Ouch. Wow. Yeah, I agree that Austin and Triple H, the match here tonight, was better than the Armageddon Hell in the Cell. I loved the match. I remember just being really impressed that Triple H went over. I remember thinking that was cool because it kind of went against what they would normally do. Especially when you consider what Triple H did to Austin. And then Austin gets to go right into WrestleMania to face the champ anyway because he wrestled at the Royal Rumble. Or he won the Royal Rumble, excuse me. Ray, I have not seen the Three Amigos delivered it to anyone yet. Was Eddie doing them yet? No, Tatanani, I have no idea who's going to be on the next Broken Skull Sessions. No clue. Who did the last one? Sami Zayn? Oh, wow. You didn't remember the Jericho Triple H match of Fully Loaded? That was a great one. We watched that last July. Yeah, Sunday Night Heat was always fun for us, Divine, because I would have people over, and I had a huge setup. I've showed pictures of it before, my big screen TV and the whole shit surrounding it. But one thing that's hard to see in that setup is I have 2 VCRs connected. And so one of my buddies, Daniel, he would always come, and we'd watch the pay-per-views together every month, and we'd add people. Sometimes we'd have girls over. Sometimes we'd have just friends or neighbors, and there'd always be like a little group of us. But he would always come and bring his VHS tape and pop it in the other VCR, and he'd get to leave home with a copy. But during the Sunday Night Heat was really fun because that's when, you start getting ready. A lot of times we'll order some pizzas or, get some drinks or whatever together. And it was a fun time back in those days because every pay-per-view you look forward to, especially during this time when WWE was so hot, whatever the next pay-per-view was, you were ready for it, man, because it was going to be good. And here we are, WrestleMania season. So if I was to put myself back in my old apartment around this time, right before me moving to the beach, I can see being up there and eating some wings and, and shit like that with, 2 of my friends or 3 of my friends, whatever it was. I probably had a wing in my mouth right now while this match is on. Benoit and Jericho again. Roll through. Up. He's going for the walls. Somebody's got to come in, fly into frame, maybe Eddie from the top or something. Or maybe X-Pac with one of those spin kicks. Nope. Nope, now Jericho's going to put it on Eddie. Going from one wall to another. Something tells me Jerry Lawler's a fan of walls. Oh, Just Incredible's out here. Oh, maybe that might be the beginning. Oh. Wow. What are full Nelson suplexes called? Are they a dragon suplex? Ooh. Oh, I love that. Pulling Benoit out and he crotches Eddie. Double thrust from X-Pac and PJ. Thanks, Foxter. Wow, I was right again. That's 2 rights in the same stream. Holy shit, I'm on a roll. What else can I be right about? Oh. Nice. Benoit had the crossface on X-Pac, and then Eddie came in with a neck breaker, which basically a reverse natural selection, kind of, onto Benoit. Oof. Another thing we used to do, some of my friends, in the early days of Raw, this would have been more like 96, and maybe early 97 too, before I became so focused on watching them at home. But I used to be like kind of an amateur bowler. I was really good. I carried like a 200-plus average my whole life. And me and my buddies for a few years, for like a good solid year there, we had free reign to do whatever we wanted in the bowling alley. We were 2 of the best bowlers in the whole damn town, and so when we went in there, we got treated nice. So we would always get like a pair of lanes kind of off to the side underneath one of the TVs. Oh, and Jericho wins. Jericho retains, pinning X-Pac. And we would get a pair of lanes down there right under a TV. We would climb up on a chair, turn it on to Raw, turn the volume way up, and we would just turn the lanes on and just bowl game after game after game while we watched Raw. And then meanwhile at home, I would have a tape in my VCR taping the show at home. And then, you know, that would morph into, you know, doing things at the apartment and pay-per-view parties and things like that. But never went to one of those Nitro campus parties. Good victory for Jericho, retains. He's going to go into WrestleMania now to face William Regal and beat him too, I believe, to keep running with that IC for a while. So this is 2001, prior to the invasion. I have no idea when Jericho would lose that Intercontinental title. Wouldn't he do the Duchess of Queensberry shit too after WrestleMania? So I'm not sure if he would wind up dropping it to Regal or what, but Triple H looks very mad. Doesn't that cut off your circulation? Just wrapping your arm up in tape? Oh, no. That's another thing that I've witnessed live with my own eyes. His lips on his bare-ass ass.
Stephanie versus Trish. This whole match idea was your idea. You realize that. And you realize that Stephanie is my precious.
Oh, yeah, we're right in the middle of some ugly shit here, too, with Stephanie and Trish and Vince and Linda.
And you realize that Trish is my very good friend. So therefore,
Regal, you're going to be getting to know this man a lot better in about
one match
8 months.
your idea. I'm confident you'll know what.
That's right. I remember. Triple H beat him.
Matter of fact,
That's right.
when the time is right, I know you'll know exactly what What to do? How the bloody hell am I supposed to know what to do?
Man, you know, it would have been funny if that world championship that Jericho technically beat Triple H for, that would mean Triple H and Jericho exchanged all the titles, or the three big ones anyway, the tags, IC, and World in WWE. It's kind of a common stat for a lot of people. There's a lot of guys who have done that together, but I didn't remember Stephanie actually faced Trish Stratus here. All right. Yeah, Divine. Oh my God, how hot is Trish, especially in 2001? Of course she was, but I dare say she's every bit as hot now. Look at Linda. Vince is a weird person. Look at him. He's just openly being who he is on TV, and that's just so bizarre to me. One dominant female. Oh, Trish. Oh my God, she's massaging him too. Ugh. I wonder if Trish regrets any of this. I mean, she might not regret it publicly, but I wonder if in her head, if she's just like, God, I wish I wouldn't have. I wish I was not on film doing all that stuff. I mean, these two had their issues so early on in both of their kind of physical careers. I wonder what would have happened if, like, 2015 Stephanie, the one who faced Brie Bella, faced 2004 Trish right before she retired, or maybe even the Trish that faced Charlotte a couple years ago. Put those two in the ring. It is a rainy night. Rainy night in Times Square. I have never... Busta! Oh, that's awesome. I want to hang out in a sports bar with Busta Rhymes. Test. Yeah, Test knows them very well. TNA and, of course, fiance.
In this case, I hope these two beat the hell out of each other. But at least we're going to get one good thing out of this match. Once and for all, we'll know who the biggest trash bag hoe of the world wrestling.
Trash bag. Test. Stop. Good Lord, Trish. I mean, they're literally... Regal, I don't have time for this. I got a bitch to slap. That's hilarious. All right, here comes Stephanie. Stephanie looks a little bit more ready to fight. She's at least wearing fighting gear. Yujiro, you were 14 or 15. You went all around Madison Square Garden looking for the WWE restaurant store thing. There was no longer there for my birthday. That's funny. You mean you were looking for WWF New York? You didn't know that it changed to the world and then went away? Oh, God, pie. This is when I stopped caring. I was done by WWF Volume 5. I'm like, okay, the Full Metal was fun. WWF Volume 3 to me is still the greatest. 4 is solid, but... I started not liking things after 5. Pie. Oh my God. Trish Lewinsky. Yeah, I still have all of the CDs. I don't think they're on the shelf here, but no. I don't know where they are, but I've got them all somewhere. They're nowhere around here. JJ Leg, OG channel member. What's going on, man? Appreciate the $5. Off topic, but hear me out. Usos versus Solo versus Imperium versus Brawling Brutes for the IC and tags in a winner-take-all triple threat War Games match at Survivor Series. Well, shit. That's a lot. I would be fine with it if that happened. I feel like the bloodline, well, the thing about War Games is I have a feeling Roman's going to be in that. You know, that's why I think it's going to be the entire bloodline as a unit. All 4 guys, sans Sammy, against 4 other guys, maybe Sammy. I see it going more that way, but on paper, that all sounds peachy, JJ. Trish holding on. I'm like, who are you even supposed to root for in this situation? Okay, yeah, NXT had a triple threat War Game, so it can be done and it can work. Colin. Y'all, we got to call out Colin. Colin hates my favorite Triple H theme of all time. What am I supposed to do with that information? I love My Time. I love My Time. I liked his Motorhead themes too, but I really liked My Time. I think I mentioned that last week. That was my favorite Triple H theme. We'll let it slide, Colin. We'll let it slide. Wasn't paying much attention, Ace, to WWE in 2005. I mean, I watched WrestleMania. I knew everything that was kind of going on. But 4, 5, 6 years removed from the Attitude Era, I was struggling to find purpose. And that was the year that I attended my final WWE show until 2018. Went on a 13-year break. Oh. I mean, Triple H has had a lot of theme songs. He had 2 different themes as Triple H, as Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And then he went into the DX theme. And then he had a couple of versions. You know, he had an early version of My Time as well that I think was a little different. And then he had My Time. And then he had the Motorhead theme that he used for so long. Stephanie with the cell. I love that. Yo, Hollywood Guy, what's up? Appreciate the 5. I'm in the minority, Greg, but these White Rabbit clues could lead to Edge instead of Bray, or maybe a stable with both. I do like that. Somebody had pointed out, I did see a couple of hints that really did point to Edge. The thing about son killing his father or something could be a reference to Dominic and Ray, and then whatever it was before that was referencing something else, but I forgot what it was. I think it might have been something referencing Finn Balor. And if it is just Edge, then that would be interesting because we haven't really seen Edge since he got beat up or whatnot, so I don't know. But I would like some kind of a swerve or something that's just not so exact to what we're thinking. And that's what's cool about this. It likely will be something like that. Big DDT to Stephanie. Jeez. But at this point, so many fans are expecting it to be Bray. If it's not Bray, you have to make sure it's something that the fans are going to be cool if it's not Bray. So Edge, they could get away with that. Because if it was Edge, like, holy shit, I didn't see it coming. That's for Edge. Okay, we can live with that. But if it's somebody of like a lesser status than Bray Wyatt, then I think the fans are going to shit on it. So I think Edge is probably at this point the only guy other than Bray that this could work for. If it turned out to be meant just for Karrion Kross and Karrion Kross only, I think the fans would be disappointed by that. It's like, well, he's already here. We were expecting some big return, and you're just giving it to a dude that's already out. It's already returned 2 months ago. So Edge is probably the only guy other than Wyatt that would not receive an overwhelming negative reaction. Might get some negative. Whoa, but it won't get overwhelming negative. Trish down. Big Beal off the top rope there. Excellent camera work. Yeah, I mean, this is not really that bad of a match at all. I got to give both women credit. I mean, Trish was already starting to get better, but I still think she had a long way to go. She wouldn't reach true Trish level for a good solid year after this, in my mind. Maybe even more. Not all bumps look good. Oh, yeah, the DX Run DMC theme was not bad. I'm a big Run DMC fan. Oh, my. Wet T-shirt, Lawler says. Oh, Stephanie took a... That's a little slippery. That's dangerous. Calm down, please. Oh, big power bomb to a very, very wet Trish. And she kicks out. She's gonna pull her pants down and spank her. Attitude error. Because women can't be in a match without getting their panties pulled down or something. God forbid they just go out there and compete. Can't have that in 2001. I'm a Steph fan. It amazes me the way they claw at each other's clothes like this, that they haven't had them come off for real. Oh, double face slam. Here comes Regal. I'm trying to figure out what Mr. McMahon wants. Psh, I love how he just pulls Jimmy Corderas' feet and Corderas is dead. Like, wake up, Jimmy. And that's all it took? That's all it took? I feel like Stephanie's going to kick out. Wait, what? Oh, he changed his mind? That's hilarious. He doesn't know what to do. He's just going to beat up the referee. There you go. Oh, now Trish is getting in his face, slapping him. Just hit her with a sling blade neck breaker, moss covered family Gradunzel or some shit. I don't know what it was. I just love how casually, totally normal it was in the Attitude Era to just punch a woman in the face. Like, it was up, I had no big deal. Oh, no. Well, Vince was being pretty fucking vague, man. He's like, Stephanie's my most important, my favorite kid, basically. But Trish is my special friend. Well, what the hell did you expect Regal to do? He's going to have to beat the shit out of one of them, so he chose the one that wasn't your daughter. Yeah, poor Regal. He was forced into abusing a woman. It just amazed me how we just ate this shit up back then, man. I just love how he just changed his mind. Damn, are we going to get the 3 stages of hell already? I guess so, huh? This is we're 3 matches in. That's going to be the 4th, and it's not the main event, so. Poor Trish. Like, she was good. Like, when you watch her, the way she was reacting to Regal and her selling and her facials and all of that, she really did have, like, a really good natural ability to do this. You see a lot of the NXT developmental talent, you know, a lot of the women and the men both who just suck at reacting and acting, basically. They're just not good. They don't have a lot of passion behind it, or it just really feels fake and forced. And hers didn't really come off that way. What are we doing here? Okay, WrestleMania promo. Because you have to watch it on a small TV, dressed as a clown outside a rickety-ass house. Their unyielding courage. This is WrestleMania. They're indelibly etched. Fucking love that Vince literally writes all these. There's certain Vince words. Oh, look at this. You're mad at him? Okay, you know what? I know you're intimidating, Vince, but you ain't gonna yell at me like that. I will pull off. I will take one of your grapefruits, remove it, and smash it on the bricks. I ain't scared of you, Vince. Oh, on Raw. Okay. Well, that's crazy. Now there's going to be a mixed tag? Phoenix. Yeah, so Stephanie's got a team with Riggs. Look at that little kid behind Lawler. I wonder how old he is now. He's probably, what, maybe 7 or 8 there? This was 21 years ago. He's 30 years old now. I'm dying to know who that kid is. Victor Colon, appreciate the $2 as we get ready for the 3 stages of hell. How about when Stone Cold and Triple H beat up Lita? That's right. She got hit in the face with a chair, didn't she? Oh, yeah, Salad Steel Cage. Like, I love that it's always got to be solid. Like, it would have been funny if they were like, this match will take place in a relatively sturdy steel cage. In real life, I'm sure Regal would go old school on Vince. I am fairly certain myself, Colin, even though the Vince is a tough guy and some say he can fight, I think Regal would eat him for lunch. Vince might be fearless and jacked up, but just because you work out doesn't mean you can fight. I feel like this has got to be some sort of dubbing here because it just doesn't sound right. But it might be right. This was the contract signing that I loved. Austin signs it. And then boom, and he hits him anyway. I remember watching the segment live being like, well, what the fuck? Is Triple H going to get suspended or fired? Like, it swerved me, and I'm like, oh, shit, he didn't sign. I never signed it. Even Vince loves it. That smirk by Vince made that to me. You know, because Vince was even, it just, his face said, damn, that was pretty good. You know, even Vince was impressed by that. And he stunned Stephanie. And he's the babyface. Huge, giant babyface. Triple H has broken into homes for less than that. So you better watch out, Austin. Hey, speaking of next potential guests for Broken Skull Sessions, how about Mr. Game? I'd be into that. This also felt bigger than what they attempted to do in '99, you know? Austin, I just don't think felt like Triple H was on that level yet, and a couple matches they had didn't have the big match feel to it that these did.
Stone Cold, are you ready to enter hell next?
Are you ready to enter hell, Steve Austin? Michael Cole and his Frosted Tips would like to know. Michael Cole, the lost Backstreet Boy. They called him Mikey C. Niners, 7-0. Start of the second quarter. That's what's going on the foosball. Tito, you have no idea how tempted I am to remove this webcam and take it all the way past my legs and under the desk to see this little guy. The game. Straight wrestling, then street fight for number 2, and then cage match for number 3, correct? That's what he's doing under the desk right now. It's kind of hard to see him in that light. But look how big he is. It's like a great white shark. He's like a great white tiger shark combo. He's got the white belly, he's got the stripes, and he's gigantic. And I even monitor his food, and he's still somehow obesitito. That's what I call him. But I say it in a loving way. I'm trying to remember the order of falls here without me knowing. I'm going to guess maybe Austin wins the first fall, loses the second 2. Is that what happens? Or maybe Triple H wins the first one. Because you would think Triple H would be the likely winner of the wrestling match fall, but if I'm booking it, I'd swerve us and do Austin. But all right, here we go. Look at the crowd. Different energy back then. How many of you in the chat have gone to shows pre-2002? I'm curious how many out there have experienced some of the same Attitude Era experiences that I have, because I went to a ass load of shows back in the day. To the point where probably bordered on obsessive. And these type of matches and atmospheres like this is what I remember so well. And it's kind of hard to describe. Super's coming in. Yeah, Obesitito. That's what I call him. He doesn't like it. He's like, don't shame me, Dad. I can't help it. He balances it out with cuteness. Plus, watching Bub get sick and lose so much weight, I kind of want him to have some meat on him. That way, one day when he gets old and sick, he's got some weight to lose, you know? Because Bub is just bone and ribs now. But he's still eating. Austin looks like he's got more of a mustache than a goatee. Oh. Did not work. Now we are just getting started on this match, so I'm going to go grab another green one. All right. Got a new one. We got a brawl on the outside, but this is a regular-ass rules here, so you guys got to be careful. Technically, this match could end in a DQ, right? I mean, I know who wins this overall match, but I don't know the sequence of falls, so at least I get to be surprised that way. Triple H and the Earl shoving. I saw those guys do that for the first time in like 95. They did that spot. Maybe 96. It was probably after Triple H had been there close to a year. I saw it at a house show in Detroit in like 96. They did the same spot. Triple H was working with Mark Marrow. It's kind of been their thing. K-Dog's Kennel in the house. Good to see you, man. I'm glad you're here. I don't know if I've asked for likes yet, but if you could do that, hook us up. Oh, we got a nice completion there by San Fran. Looks like a good 30-yard completion at least. They're on the move, up 7-3. Divine, did I get your super chat? I was about to answer it, and then... Oh, yeah, I was about to answer it, and then I saw Zach's Triple H shoving Earl comment. Sorry, dude. I see it now. Thanks for the 5 more. Divine. It was good that they put Austin Triple H match in the middle of the card away from Rock Angle title match. Yeah, you wouldn't want to do these back-to-back, so they'll have a buffer in there. And plus, this is such a long affair. I mean, I do remember this match going long. I have no idea the runtime. It's got to be 30 minutes or more. I think 30 would be the minimum, actually. Fucking thing went long. Which is why it's one of my favorite in both of their careers. Seeing where they are in their careers here. You know, they had a Brett and Shawn type of path. You know, they kind of rivaled each other a little bit because, you know, they were both in WCW. Austin was always a little ahead of Triple H, though. He had a few more years on him in experience. He made it championship gold, you know, in WCW, while Triple H was basically there as, you know, a lower card talent at best. And then, you know, WWE, it was the same thing. They kind of came in more on the same level. I feel like in WCW, Austin was here, Triple H was here. But in WWE in 95 and 96, I feel like it might have been more like that. And then Austin, of course, due to Triple H getting in trouble for the curtain call, was able to cut that King of the Ring promo and run away from Triple H and put the distance of an entire universe between them. But Triple H, to his credit, still made a heck-ass awesome career for himself. And I've always been of the belief, I mean, it's not going to be a hill I'm going to die on or anything, but I've always been pretty firm in the belief that even without the marriage to Stephanie, Triple H is a world champion caliber wrestler. And I think would have had maybe not as ridiculous of a run, maybe some of that Reign of Terror shit wouldn't have been so bad, but still would have had multiple world titles to his credit without marrying Stephanie. Got to remember, they put the world title on him before He even hooked up with Stephanie before they even ran that angle. They already put the belt on him. So it's not like Stephanie caused all of that. They were already prepared to go with him, and they were already prepared to give him a shot. And he was operating on all cylinders here. He was at his absolute best in the ring at this time in 2001, so much so that I think the fans started respecting him a little bit more than Austin, especially in the two-man power trip. So when he got injured in that tag match, I think had he not got injured, they probably would have had Austin and Triple H implode, the following week on TV or whatever. But when Triple H came back, leaving as a heel, fans missed him and missed his work so much, he blew the fucking roof off of Madison Square Garden. That didn't happen just because he was with Stephanie. That happened because the fans missed him and appreciated him and respected him. So being with Stephanie didn't hurt things, and definitely helped Triple H succeed in a lot of other ways. But to those who think Triple H wouldn't have gotten anywhere without Stephanie are fools, because he's absolutely capable and always was. Yeah, I think Vince will go in the Hall of Fame, long board. Just depends on when. Rumors of this year. If he goes in this year, I'll be there to see that. That's going to be interesting. But if not, maybe they do it Philly. It's closer to home. Maybe more likely to get a babyface reaction out there. I think you'll get a babyface reaction anywhere, really. But maybe it'll be a little louder there. And I'd honestly be fine with it because I've always felt that Vince should go in the Hall of Fame, to be honest. So. But you could also argue if he was, oh, look here, it's our thumbnail. The figure 4. We're right on the thumbnail portion of the pay-per-view. But you could argue if you take all of Vince's controversy and you plug that into another current Hall of Famer, you'd have grounds to remove that person. So, although I think there's at least one murderer still on the Hall of Fame roster. And, of course, Tammy Sitch is in there. So, why not Vince? But shit, I'd wait another year for stuff to cool off, man. I've never seen it. Very horrible wits. One of the more notable jobbers, him and Mike Sharp, I always have fond memories of. But Horowitz, man, he worked in WCW a little bit too. He'd have no problem jobbing over there either. WWE was so unimaginable. Oh, wow, that's great. Figure 4 reversal. WWE was so desperate for talent, they decided to give him a push in 96. They had such a depleted, weak-ass roster. So weak. Or no, it was 95. I think they did that with Horowitz, not 96. Kick his ass, Seabass sign. K-Dog's Kennel, it's good to see you, man. And by the way, did I miss something? Oh, you're what? Okay, I'm just trying to figure out who's injured here. Best of luck to your wife, who's down with a torn meniscus. Yikes. MRI on the 6th. Good luck there, man. And Zach, you're out too. Got some injuries in the house, man. Hopefully wrestling will help the healing process. Big Thez. I think Stone Cold Steve Austin literally has to be the only human in the world that I could possibly love as a person that would have a tattoo of Texas on their leg. Austin's awesome. Austin's another guy that, in full disclosure, has been able to avoid things that have gotten other people canceled. He's been able to avoid the death blow. Oh. Stiff necks can be rough, especially when you're trying to sleep. I always struggled with that too. Recently, in the last few years, Austin, nope, double kick out. I've discovered these, I don't have the name of them. I can look them up, but they're super flat pillows. They got a little cushion to them, but they keep my neck just, I don't know, they just work for me. So it's really helped any other neck problems that I've had before. I use the really thin pillows. Because I don't like big fluffy ones or lumpy ones or ones that I struggle to breathe or blocks one of my nostrils or whatever. Stunner, is that it? He's not going to kick out of the stunner, is he? Fall 1 to Austin. So I had that right. I said Austin's going to win the first fall, right? Well, now we definitely know who wins the next two. I guess we would know that anyway. Nice, just beat him in a straight-up wrestling match. So that's a good compromise, even though Austin loses in the end. Technically, see, I kind of forgot how that works. So that kind of does give Austin a victory, right? They almost look like they're discussing something, like they don't know what to do. But Austin just beat Triple H in a wrestling match is what happened there. So Triple H is going to wind up getting the last laugh in the end, but Austin, you know, still remains formidable. Yeah, see, if I'm Austin, I would not even give Triple H a chance here. You're up 1-0. You got Triple H on the ropes. You're pissed. You still got most of your strength. I would just be relentless. I would just not let up. I would pound him and pound him and pound him and then just put him in the ring and pin him. But that wouldn't be dramatic enough. Wife isn't a wrestling fan. I know, divorce her, trying to teach her football. Good grief, that's a challenge. Well, you know, they make these really nice kind of like hand restraints that don't really hurt. They're not made of metal like handcuffs. And you can like tie her up to the wall. And then if you can just get something to focus her head on the TV, with Elizabeth, I just use duct tape. And then they can then just make them watch. And then, you know, maybe she'll grow to love it, you know. And it's humane, you know. It doesn't hurt them or anything, you know. I've looked it up. This is all on the up and up. Really great people do it. Spanish guys. I'm sorry, Carlos. I'm sorry, Hugo. We love you. Ugh. That was a gnar shot with the monitor. Those old monitors were so brutal. They're sharp, they're metal. Austin's all tangled in its cords. Ugh, what a mess. Nope. Yeah, probably not the soundest strategy because forcing someone to watch wrestling could be grounds for divorce. I could understand why a woman might be turned off by that. Yeah, VHS box right here. For whoever was wondering. No way out. Chairs in the ring. Oh, I'm really surprised that Triple H is actually going to mount a comeback here. Damn. How does Triple H not only survive this, but wind up winning this thing? At some point, does he low blow Austin? Like, how does the table turn here? How does Triple H, stop the bleeding? And now Austin's going to rib him literally with the belt. It'd be funny if there was like a women's wrestler that really loved practical jokes and ribbing people, and then whenever she played a joke, they could say, "You were ribbed for her pleasure." Sounds like a Jerry Lawler line. I thought Triple H was going to go into the crowd, but he stopped. There was a little kid there. Be careful. Oof. Do I see VHS tape coming back like vinyls? I don't think so. For a couple of reasons. Oh, God, he's got the... did Austin get Foley to give him that? Oof. I wonder if that's gimmicked barbed wire. Because every time Triple H has used a barbed wire bat, he's used a real one on Foley, but gimmicked one for himself. Right in the face. Okay, Austin's going to get behind the table so he can blade. I think with vinyls, there's still a joy of, putting them on and playing a record, and, with the proper equipment can sound really, really good. But as a VHS collector, I can understand collecting them because I do. I love collecting the old Coliseum videos. I got 7 copies of WrestleMania 3. So I understand collecting them, but I think a lot of people who collect vinyl like to also listen to them. So I think the technology is far better. The picture quality is far better with DVDs or watching it on a streaming service. The only benefit to maybe watching on a VHS is, because of the massive amount of editing that does take place on streaming platforms, and to watch it in as close to its original form as possible, even though some of that can be edited. To have it in its original form is to do what I did and tape every one of them live off pay-per-view. That way, if there were any fuck-ups or mistakes that are edited out later, you have it, in its original form. But they're a pain in the ass, too. Even VHS tapes, you can't choose what match to go next. You just got to fast forward and guess, when you're there. God, Austin looks like even the back of his head is damaged. Please be careful. It's like they have to reinforce these tables so they don't break before they hit the spot, but also make sure that they do break when they bump on it. These guys in the front row are cracking me up. So yeah, slam them. They got some good pictures. I think Austin said, let me rest for a second. I think he said, let me rest for a second. Yes, Zach, I was recording the pay-per-view when Owen died, and I have it. Not much is different about it, to be honest. They don't show anything too crazy, but I have the whole thing. And the Sunday Night Heat, where Owen cut a promo. Oh. Yeah, Divine, we talked about that earlier on, how they would form that alliance right after this feud that, forget about just a regular feud. This is a feud that involved Triple H plotting the murder of Steve Austin, plotting the vehicular murder of Steve Austin, and then they're going to be homies? You try to run me over, I'm probably not going to be your friend after that. Sorry. So if you want to be my friend, rule number 1, don't run me over. Austin prolonging it. He's not going to go down without a fight. But he's going to go down, and then they're going to lower that cage. Guts and heart. I never understood how they can just take flat back bumps on chairs. It's got to hurt like a motherfucker. Speaking of flat back bumps, Julia Hart seems to be doing fine. I don't know how. A couple of wrestlers, I think Brody King said that she's doing fine. She's been tweeting and seems to be all right. That's the benefit, I guess, of youth, is that you can take that would have killed me. I'd still be laying there. I'd still be in the hospital from that. So my shoulder would be broken, or my head would be cracked, or I'd think it was Christmas. I wouldn't know what the hell was going on. You could forget about streaming for a while for me, for old Greg. But somehow, Julia, when you're that young, you can just bounce back. But I just certainly hope her noodle's okay. And she didn't get her bell rung too hard there. But the fact that she survived that without any serious injury is incredible. Do I think anyone will ever get to Austin's level of wrestling fame? Longboard, are you a new joiner? Thank you, dude. I just realized that little icon by your name. Thanks for joining, and I'm sorry that I missed that earlier. Thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate, and thanks for becoming a kayfabe brother. You are family now, my friend. Glad you're here. But in terms of if anybody's going to get to Austin's level of wrestling fame, I don't know. Probably not. Not that people don't have the ability, but it's just the time that we're in. You know, you got to always look at what made Austin so great is that he was so different. And the stuff he was doing and the stuff he was saying was shit that we just had not seen before. So we've seen everything now that's 25 years ago. WWE's not only done everything, they've done it twice. So it's going to be really tough to have someone come along that's going to just get massively over unless somebody comes along that offers something so unique and so different and so perfect for the time that it just catches on. But how are you supposed to know what that thing is and who that person is? The biggest stars in the business they've fallen ass backwards into. WWE got huge because they were able to grab Hogan away from a behind-the-times Vern Gagne, who could have had his own monopoly had he chose to go with Hulk. And then they fall ass backwards into Austin. They fall ass backwards into The Rock. None of these guys were ever designed or thought would get over to that degree and would not only be as popular as Hogan, but best it. So it's just the circumstances, It's not about just duplicating the star or the person. It's about duplicating the circumstances. What was going on around the time or in society or in the world that made somebody get over to that degree? You got to think about that stuff too. So it doesn't mean promoters are incompetent. It just means that even when WWE was creating stars, they weren't even doing it deliberately. It was just happening. The stars that they've tried to create and force on us have been just that. And they've been rejected for good portions of their career because of that. Austin's got the sledgehammer now. This is a long fall. It's a great match, though. I mean, even though the first fall was a wrestling match, they beat the hell out of each other. And they've got every weapon in the book out here in the ring. Both guys are busted wide open. They've had table spots. It's been just pure beating the shit out of each other for probably close to 30 minutes. Oh, wow. I feel like this is going to be the finish. Boom, right there with a sledgehammer. Pedigree him and get this over with. Get that cage down. That is it. Triple H wins the second fall. Yeah, Anthony, that is all right about Austin, but that wasn't why he got over to the degree he got over. He got over because his promos, what he was saying, his gimmick, his character, and how perfect it was for the attitude that was in the culture at the time. The journey stuff helped, but a lot of guys have the journey. Every wrestler technically has a journey where, they bounce from place to place until they get to the big time, make it to that level. So Austin had the same journey that many champions did. Look at the journey Chris Jericho had. A lot of guys have done that. Austin just had that something special. He had that personality that was so relatable, and he was so over and just so over. I remember it. I lived it. I was in my mid-20s, man. I was eating that shit up. I love that they play the dun-dun-dun-dun music when they lower the cage. And these guys just got done beating the crap out of each other. They're bleeding. I'd be like, this is disorienting. You're flashing lights. You're playing this pulsing music. I'd be like, am I tripping out or something? God, knock it off. That's annoying even on camera or even on screen. Yeah, they still play Austin's theme at sporting events. Rock became the bigger overall star, but I still think Austin was a bigger wrestling star. He was so over, man. I got trampled nearly at a couple of WWE events in the South because people down there love them some Stone Cold, that's for sure. And they would trample you to get close to him. They will abandon their sun drops and bash you in the head to get close to ringside, to get near Austin. Feared for my life at a house show one time when I was ringside, sitting next to John Boy and Billy, a radio DJ duo. in North Carolina. And when Austin's match started, the security was just for a house show, so it's not like it was too crazy. And they just didn't have enough, and the fans just bum-rushed the guardrail, and it really came close to coming completely over. It was moving up, moving closer to the ring, and my ringside seat was gone because now people were actually in front of me. And I'm like, my seat is in front row, but now they've pushed the barricade so far away from my seat. A bunch of people have crowded in front of me, and now I got like 15 people standing in front of me. You know, instead of trying to shove them out of the way, you know, I had a girl with me, so we just didn't know what to do. It just sucked. Austin was over. He was a Beatle. God. Michael Kuma, Austin was meant to be a top heel originally. Well, they might have meant it, but they meant a lot of things back then. And if they thought for one moment the ringmaster was going to be a top heel in the company, they were fools. And they turned out to be fools because that didn't work, and Austin kiboshed it. But he wasn't going to be a top heel with that. There's just no way. Man. He rammed Triple H into the cage and then hit him with the barbed wire. So Triple H is being sandwiched in between the steel cage and the barbed wire bat. This is just an amazing fight. I think this is a little better than I even remember it being. I mean, it's a war. I mean, in a lot of ways, maybe we talked about how weird it is that these guys join forces, but even though there was an attempted vehicular murder involved, maybe this match just gave guys the respect for each other, allowed them to team up. Yeah, Divine, thank you for the $5. The Attitude Era was the only era that had two major stars, Austin and Rock. To me, that is so rare. And that's true, because imagine if during Hogan's run in 86, if you had a second 86 Hogan that was also a babyface. And don't say, well, Randy Savage or this guy. No, nobody was even close to that. No, Hogan had no equal in that, where Austin and Rock were a little closer to equals. So, you know, it would have been like if Magnum TA wouldn't have gotten hurt and then Vince got a hold of him, and you push Magnum or something, and then you got Hogan and Magnum as these two big baby faces. You know, Warrior obviously was there for a short time, but that was as close as it ever came. Austin and Rock were mega over. And helping the business at the same time. And that's why when WWE first got started with Hogan, 84, 85, 86, if there would have been another Hogan around 85 and 86, imagine how even faster WWE would have grown, because Warrior didn't come around until 90, 89, 90, whatever it was. No, 88, 87. But still, it took him a while to get there, and WWE was already built by the time he got there. They're still fighting hard despite this match going to 30-plus minutes. What is this, 35 minutes? I didn't check the timer before we started the match, but I feel like we're over 30 minutes. Way over. Triple H just refusing. He's trying to get out. What a lame way after these two guys fought the way they did if you win by escaping. Savage would be the closest guy, I will admit, because along with Hogan, he was a household name, and he got himself to that point. Everybody knows the "ooh yeah" and the Slim Jims and all that, but still, even though he was up there, he just still wasn't Hogan, and and I feel like Rock and Austin were a little bit closer together than Savage and Hogan, or Hogan and anyone. Oh, wow. Another kick out by Triple H. Triple H kicked out of that. And Austin probably maybe thought the same way a lot of fans did. Like, I feel like it took me until about 2000, the year 2000, about a year before this. It was the match, actually. It was the match with Cactus at the Royal Rumble where I finally, in my brain, separated Triple H from Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Wow, pedigree. Is that it? Is Austin going to kick out just like Triple H did? Oh, kick out. Awesome. Because even when Triple H was the head of DX, and even when he won his first title as the Cerebral Assassin in '99, I was still just amazed that Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the dude from 1995 and 1996, is world champion. To me, it just blew my mind because I watched, a lot back in those days, and it just didn't seem like that was going to be something he would achieve. So when he did, it was pretty cool. But I couldn't really separate him until he, to me, proved himself at the Royal Rumble in that Cactus Jack match. And then this is another one. Triple H has had a lot of good matches, and a lot of matches like this that he's had have been good. A lot of these any last man standing match he ever had, cage matches. Think of them. The ones he had with Jericho, the last man standing match, the cage match with Ric Flair, this thing, a couple of Hell in the Cell matches that he's won, the match with Cactus, the retirement match with Cactus. Every time he's in some hardcore shit, he performs, and he wins most of the time. Like, he's a badass. Big stunner. Ooh, that was a weird-looking stunner, but it was a stunner. Think about the end of an era match he had with Taker in the cell, how good that was. He broke into Randy Orton's house because he was so pissed. Triple H is a hardcore dude. One doesn't simply just cross Paul Levesque. Another kick out. That's Triple H's fourth big near-fall kick out in this cage match portion. Third fall alone. That barbed wire stick. Do they both hit? Oh, shit. This is how it's going to end? It is. That's right. Okay, so if I'm Austin, I can't breathe right now. I'm like, will you get off of me? I'm already probably pretty tired, and now you're laying your chest or your back on me. I kind of forgot that's how the finish was. So that was really booked. In my head, I didn't think it was booked so even. In my head, I thought it was a pretty good statement win for Triple H, and I think it is, but the fact that Austin pretty much beat him straight up in that first fall. Oh, there's Austin finally Austin got off of him quick. I think it's because something got thrown in the ring. Did you see that? But when they get to that finish and they basically just knock each other out, and the only reason Triple H won is because he landed on Stone Cold. Oh, I thought Triple H was blading himself. I'm like, what are you doing? I think he is. I think is he. Yeah, see, he's trying to get blood to drip down his head while the camera gets on him. I think he might have just been blading right there, and he tucked it into his trunks just to get the camera shot. Who blades after the match? Didn't Triple H just say, "I don't think we need blood anymore"? I'm like, bitch, you bladed after matches. Don't be sitting all high and mighty now. That's funny. Oh, is it a water bottle? I just thought it was like a crumpled up piece of paper or something. Have you guys ever seen the footage of Triple H taking down the fan? It would have been like 96 when he was still Hunter Hearst Helmsley working with Austin. I think Earl might have even been the referee, and like a fan gets in the ring and gets on top of Austin, and Triple H just waist locks him and just whips him over and takes him down brutally and just slams him down face first on the mat. It was beautiful. Like I said, he's legit, man. Now that he's officially retired, I think we can all be honest about it, you know. Believe it or not, he did have ability beyond that marriage with Stephanie. It is there. Austin's got to hit the stunner for good measure, and it's Triple H, you got to sell it. And Austin still gets the music at the end. Oh my God! Come on, Vince. Hogan does not always have to pose. Give me a break. It's like even when they couldn't use Austin, he had to be the referee or something. Or we just watched that last week when we watched Unforgiven '99, and that was when they had the 6-pack deal, and Austin couldn't be a part of that. So they made him the referee just so his music could play and he could hit the four corners for the live audience. And then Austin gets the hero's goodbye as the loser. Oh, that was 98? Do I have the year wrong? I was thinking it was like 96. I just thought based on what Triple H was wearing, I thought he was wearing his Hunter Hearst Helmsley shit. Okay, so maybe it was when he was a DXer then. That's cool. So maybe it might have been before the build of WrestleMania 14, maybe. Because I could see them working live events when Shawn was out. I bet you it was Austin and Triple H a lot. So maybe that's when it was. But when I saw the footage, like I think I saw the footage on Twitter or something, I just thought that it was like 96. Austin, look at this. Well, you lost, Austin. You Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's what you are. Just made that up. Yeah. That guy behind Lawler's my favorite. He's having a great time. Hat's on backwards. Looks like he could gnaw through a brick. And he's behaving himself. He's not even being crazy. It's awesome sitting behind the announce desk. It's one of the best seats. Yeah, the Disturbed Austin theme was good. I wasn't sure how I felt about it because the other Austin theme was so over. So when he debuted with that, I should turn this down. I'm worried that might cause me some problems. But when I heard about it, or when I heard it for the first time, I wasn't sure. But then it grew on me and turned out to be one of my favorite Austin themes too. What's going on here? It's just Ivory and the cat. Oh my gosh. So the cat's about to get canned That's right. So Austin's going to have a match here, this whole thing involving the cat, and then they are going to... Oh, so the right to center is still together. Jerry Lawler and Stevie Richards, that's right. Y'all, I don't want to hear this music, right to center music, but we can't fast forward. We got to just sit through it. I guess we can turn the volume down. Oh, Lord. The right to nudity. Oh, my gosh. Oh, check it out, y'all. WWE Shop Zone 2001. As somebody who had dial-up internet back then, let me tell you, internet was weird. In 2001, I was downloading a lot of music on LimeWire. I was not doing much else online. There wasn't much to do. I did go to a few wrestling websites and read stuff. But other than that, I was using my very basic computer at the time for like music downloading because I thought that was so awesome. But I didn't go to the website very much, and I never bought anything online until a few years later. But then I remember when later in 2001, about 4 months after this, when I moved to a different part of the state, moved to the beach, they had better internet options. I lived in a little hick-ass fucking town inland, and they had shitty internet there. So when I got down south, I was able to get Time Warner, which offered Roadrunner, which was like the high-speed internet, and that blew my mind. When I plugged that thing in for the first time, and I typed in a website, and it took me directly to it, I was like, excuse me? I'm like, this is great. And then that's when I started taking advantage of the internet, started doing things on eBay and stuff like that. So I was blown away with what a difference high-speed internet can make. Yeah, get off the internet. I need to use the phone. I remember those days. Take like 3 minutes for like one picture to load of, if you go to a website and had a big image on it, it would just take forever. I don't know how people watched porn on those computers back then. What did they do? What were the sites like in 2001? This is hilarious to watch them sitting together. You guys had quite the feud just a few months prior to this. Hook's daddy. I love Ivory's outfit. It's hilarious. God, I remember being at shows where there's a ton of pyro smoke. And I've been to a couple of shows where they've like kicked on these fans or something, because after the pyro, you just hear this enormous like buzzing or humming in the arena. And I was just of the opinion they're trying to vent the smoke, because as soon as it went away, then the buzzing would stop. But I've been to a few shows where you could barely see the ring. Yeah, Ray, remember when like they used to say that Sunny was the most downloadable whatever the hell? How many times were these pictures getting downloaded? How many minutes did this take if she was downloaded 1,000,000 times? Look at Lawler's leopard or cheetah, or I guess leopard. I don't know what the hell that is. It's gross, whatever it is. He looks ridiculous. He looks like Jimmy Snuka. That's what Snuka would wear when he got older. Colin, don't scare me. We've been good for a while. I think hopefully we're over our whatever issues were going on back then. I just had a pretty cool OBS update a couple weeks ago that's really polished this up nice. So at least I know that I'm really current and up to date with that stuff, because I think that's what slowed me down last time. But yeah, what is she wearing under the jacket? Oh, that's right. I thought that this was a mixed tag or something. I'm like, how is Stacy gonna do this? Not my favorite haircut of Stevie Richards. I liked him better with long hair. Yeah, I had forgotten about the leopard outfit too. I'm upset that I remember now. Look at who's in the ring. Mr. Blocker. I'm going to block everybody, player. That was so fun yesterday when it became known that Teddy Long has blocked everybody. I am on the unblock list, so there's not many of us, but everybody was revealing that they have all been blocked by Teddy Long. Apparently, according to Teddy, he was hacked, and he didn't seem too concerned about it. He would he made a video from like the gym, and he's like, yeah, look, I didn't block nobody on purpose. I love everybody. It's just something, my Twitter got hacked and it went around blocking everybody. No big deal. And he goes, but we'll deal with it. So he's just basically like, yeah, I got hacked, and I'm not too worried about it, basically, is how it sounded, which was kind of funny, which is what a lot of people assumed. But I thought it was more fun to just assume that Teddy Long hated everybody and he was running around blocking us and making us all go one-on-one with The Undertaker. But turns out he was just hacked, which is what most people assumed anyway. But it was almost sad to get that confirmed, because the idea of Teddy just blocking everybody was so entertaining to me. And I was hoping it was true, but it wasn't. Uh-oh. Ivory with the slap. Got slapped by the cat. Ooh, King got posted. Good for you, JJ. Yeah, I'm not blocked by Teddy either. So I guess he never came across me, or never had a reason to block me, which is good. I'm only blocked by one person I like, and that's Shawn Michaels. That one, I'm sad that I got blocked, because I know why I got blocked, but it was something that I didn't tag him in. But I'm pretty sure, I know that's the only really negative thing I've ever said about the guy on Twitter. And I didn't even say it. It was just a picture. But I feel bad about that, because it was all in good fun. But he's a Christian man, so maybe he just blocked me for that reason. But he also needs to know that he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and I don't think he should be blocking me. I'll always have Shawn's back. I always did, even being a Bret Hart fan. When Shawn had his rough time period, I always appreciated Shawn overall and liked him. But everybody else who blocked me, like Lawler, who cares? Michael Cole, who cares? JBL, who cares? Braun Strowman, who cares? We want puppies. Of course you do, audience. It's 2001. Yeah, RTC theme was very annoying. I heard it multiple times, and it was piercing. Okay, so that dude in the front row, that's not Lemmy with a Harlem Heat bandana on, is it? See him? Right behind George Napolitano, no? No, it's not. It kind of looks like it could be. Why, Sean? So remember when they did the tag team match against Kane and Undertaker in Saudi Arabia, and Sean came back, and that match was terrible, and there's the image of Sean and Triple H in the corner when the match is over, and they're both like, their faces, and it kind of looked like they just, had a roll in the hay. And I think I tweeted, like, what exactly went on here? Or something like that, insinuating something. But I just thought it was funny. I wasn't meaning to offend. Shawn Michaels is the guy that has open-mouth kissed Triple H on TV before, so I didn't think he would care. But shortly after that, I found myself blocked by Shawn Michaels, and I didn't even say either one of their names. I didn't even do hashtag Crown Jewel. I didn't do anything. But somehow I got back to Shawn, and it was enough to block me. So I deserved it, but it wasn't malicious. Look out. Oh, big miss there. But I don't go out outwardly attacking people looking for blocks and shit. It's not. Oh. You can tell that Teddy is supposed to be distracted here because he's taking way too long. Here comes Cat nails Lawler, and miraculously Teddy's going to see this, of course. 1, 2, and what a travesty. Lawler loses. They're going to fire his wife next week, and then he's going to leave and almost go to WCW, but then they were bought out by WWE, and he'd be back working for them anyway. The end of Lawler for a short time in WWE. And I remember being pretty bummed out about it at the time, anyway. Looking back, I should have been happy about it, but they get to put her in a... Oh, yeah, because she lost the right to nudity, so that means they burlap her up? Oh, yeah, she's got to rejoin RTC. So maybe she joins them for a while, and then they fire her anyway or something. God, it sucks when Right to Censor wins, too, because that means you got to hear the song twice. Like, imagine if that was the... Could you choose that on your alarm for your iPhone in the morning? Or for your phone? You probably could. Well, what is this? Triple threat tag team table match. Holy shit. Edge and Christian, Undertaker and Kane, and the Dudley Boys. Dudleys are champs. Okay. Something tells me the Dudleys retain these titles. Actually, I'm not even sure. The funny thing is about ladder matches sometimes, I don't recall who's champion going into those because the belts are hanging up. So, in WrestleMania 17, I actually don't know if Edge and Christian retain or if they win the titles. I don't know which one it is. I guess I'm about to find out. They're either going to win here or the Dudleys are either going to retain. All I know is Taker and Kane ain't winning these belts yet. Oh, yeah, they lured him out there because they threatened his bike. Oh. Smart move by the heels, taking him out.
Undertaker, you and your brother Kane have had a long and storied history together, yet you've never had tag team gold. Tonight in the table match, you have the opportunity to do...
I don't know if it's a matter of Shawn even being sensitive or not. I mean, I understand you got a shitload of followers, and you're not going to sit there and evaluate a block or not. You know, if something is even remotely derogatory towards you, you're going to be like, you know what, fuck that guy, block him. You know, that's what I do. Sometimes I don't even give somebody a second look, you know. If I see a bunch of flags and the word patriot in their bio, I'm probably just going to go ahead and block them. But most of the time, you know, when you got millions and millions and millions, you probably want to just filter out as much negativity as humanly possible. But that's why I purposely didn't tag him.
Tonight, the big dogs, they run the yard.
It's also possible, however, since there's a lot of other people that say Shawn Michaels blocked them and they don't know why, that picture I'm referring to is completely unrelated. He never even saw it. And I just happen to be one of those people that he blocked for no reason. Other than that, I sing the dude's praises anytime I mention him on the platform of Twitter. It usually has something to do. Usually goes something like blah, blah, blah. Sean is the fucking best. Blah, blah, blah. Number 2. China wrote a book already. Once Foley wrote that book, man, they jumped on that gravy train, didn't they? Next thing you know, everybody had a book. Kurt Angle, 2 years into his career, writes a book. I guess Jericho wrote a book quite early, too, but he had a lot of wrestling experience when he wrote A Lion's Tale. But, like, the Angle book and the Rock book, I'm like, they hadn't even written half their stories yet, you know? It's just part of their life. It's a small fucking chunk of their life. They've lived 5 lifetimes each since those books were written. With the shit they've done, especially The Rock. That should be interesting. Tag team tables match. So is it both members of the team have to go through the table? Probably. Frosty Tip Cole. Gotta give him some love. He looks good like that, doesn't he? He's the lost Backstreet Boy Mikey C. He likes Abercrombie and Fitch. He thinks Limp Bizkit is all that. He's really interested in the Party of 5 finale. What the hell were the TV shows in 2001? He's totally into TRL on MTV. Totally. His favorite show. He calls in every week. He's so desperate to be Carson Daly's friend. It's all he wants. He just wants to be friends with Carson Daly because he finds Carson Daly to be so awesome and so cool. And he wants to be just like him. What's The Undertaker wearing? Undertaker would change shit up sometimes, too, that to me just wouldn't work. I guess that doesn't look too bad. But. Fucking dead-ass reaction for them, even for heels. Too bad. I guess if you had flash photography tonight, you were SOL. Yeah, I mean, Undertaker, I argue, was in the best, like, physical shape, kind of in his later days, you know, around 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those years were, he was in shape. And very lean. Here, he still didn't have that much of a body. He was just big, where Kane is jacked. Look at these guys. Poor Edge and Christian. That is what's called in being in a bad neighborhood. You're in between the Dudleys and the Brothers of Destruction. Three sets of brothers, ain't a shoot brother among them. I got 10 times more shoot brothers in the memberships than this match does in total. Oh. Damn, Bubba. Yeah, Taker, not a fan of this. Not a fan of the Spider Lady gimmick. Those damn Dudleys. Buffy was still in the air. I never watched Buffy, but my sister was a big fan of it. That's the Buffy's the one with Sarah Michelle Olsen or whatever the fuck. Freddie Prince's wife. My sister, who is 9 years younger than me, loved that. And whenever I would be out here to visit for holidays and stuff, she would have her room decked out in that stuff. posters and whatnot, so she was a big fan of that. But I don't know anything about it. Oh, Fox, you think so? You think this is the attire that he was supposed to wear at Survivor Series? I just thought I didn't realize it was special gear. I just thought he didn't get his luggage and he didn't have his regular gear, so he had to borrow Godfather's pimp pants. I didn't know he had some special shit made, but either way, he just didn't have it. But see, that's why I'm not sure if it's just special gear. Well, maybe it was. Maybe it was a combination of both, but I feel like if it was just the gear itself that was lost and it was special, then he had some of his old gear he could have just worn. But I don't know. But that makes it even funnier if it turned out that, he actually had special gear made for that event. But if he would have wrestled Kurt Angle wearing that crap, I'm kind of glad he wore the pimp pants, to be honest. I think they look better. Sarah Michelle Gellar, thank you. Wow, what a backdrop on Christian there. Christian's underrated. Maybe he's not underrated. I think people say he's underrated enough now that where he shouldn't be underrated anymore. But he's underrated. And props to Christian for being good. Could you imagine if Christian was only as good? Because I think Christian is, in a lot of ways better than Edge in the ring. But Edge has all the marketability. He's got the size, the looks, and all that stuff. If Christian would have sucked in the ring, he wouldn't have gotten anywhere. I mean, Christian is probably, he deserves credit for being like, okay, if I'm going to be the Jannetty, I'm going to be the best damn Jannetty this business has ever seen, and I think he achieved that. He paved his own way. Won titles, went to other companies. He was not latched to Edge really at all after just a few more months after this. Oh, wow. Down goes Christian. Oh, wow. The what's up? Were they doing the what's up? Or was that yeah, they're doing it. Ugh. That's legal here. Everything was so over. Oh. Unprettier to Bubba. Nobody has gone through a table yet. Yeah, I think 2001 was Kane's best year, Divine. He had some good matches. His performance in the Royal Rumble was so good. And then in the feud with the two-man power trip, he had a great chain match or something with Triple H at a pay-per-view and maybe Judgment Day. And I think it was for the Intercontinental title. And he won it. I think that was the night before Triple H got injured. Ugh. Which, thank God they went with that finish, because otherwise Triple H would have had to forfeit the Intercontinental title, which would have sucked. And physically, he was just so huge and impressive here. It is interesting that his gear seems to be all black. I don't see any red in there at all. Wow. Yeah, be careful, guys. Yep, 2 top rope clotheslines from the Brothers of Destruction that were executed just fine. How long until Spike and Rhino show up? I don't know. I'm not sure. Are they in yet? When did Rhino come in? Was Rhino there in 2000, or did Rhino just come in? I thought Rhino came in with ECW. Unless he got there before. I forgot when Rhino came in. Because ECW is just mere dead. I think they had already closed their doors. ECW was basically shut down. And then Heyman would turn up in WWE the following here in about a week or so. Did we have a safety? Did I catch that score right? Is it 7-5? It's commercial now. Battered and fried. Try and take Kane out. There he goes. Look how big he is. Jesus. What are you doing? I always like Bubba's agility for a big guy. He had different agility than a Bam Bam, but he could still do stuff. He was more Ray Traylor-like or Big Boss Man-like to me. But he could do some pretty athletic stuff for a heavier guy. Do any Bubba Ray and Kevin Steen matches exist? Probably not, huh? Oh. Taker stopped the 3D. He's going to chokeslam Christian right through this table. Unless... Nope. Low blow. Is it just one table break to a finish here? Yeah, I guess so. I think you just have to put somebody through it, and that's how it ends? Oh, that would have been bad. Oh, could you imagine if Taker would have landed on the legs that were standing straight up? Yeah, I figured that Rhino wasn't quite there yet, but I knew he was coming close. You guys need to fix that upside-down table. It's making me nervous. Bubba screaming. Yeah, it is a 7-5 game. Well, I missed the safety. Those safeties are always fun. I saw a safety today in Buffalo and Miami, I think. How many safeties on average happen in a week? Usually one. Damn, there is a jacked... What is wrong with that table's legs? It's upside down. Oh, yeah. Haku had just come in at the Royal Rumble victor. You're right. There they are. I thought that was so cool that Ming came in. And I love that he was doing the big, wild, crazy hair. And Haku, when he came back in 2001, he had left. He was gone for about 8 years. So by the time he came back, the only people that really were in the company when he left would have been all the referees and Undertaker. There weren't many other guys that were there in 93 that were there in 2001. I'm trying to think of anybody else, but I think Undertaker and perhaps Big Boss Man. Ray Traylor probably would have also still been there when Haku left, but there weren't many. I don't even think Rikishi was there yet. Although Haku and Rikishi may have briefly been in WCW together. Maybe. No, probably not. All right, Edge is out. Christian's setting up a table. He's in there between the Dudleys. This might be the finish right here because I kind of feel my instinct says the Dudleys are going to retain. That's it. And that is it. Oh, yeah, everybody else is brawling up the ramp there, so that is it. Dudleys retain over pretty decent competition there. They took down 4 Hall of Famers. He hate me sign. Oh, my God. I remember when the XFL took off. Yeah, heel Rikishi didn't really work. You know, he went back to being a babyface very shortly after becoming a heel to begin with. Lasted less than a year, from what I remember. And he did a pretty horrible thing as a heel. I mean, he ran over another human being, which could be considered attempted murder. And then somehow, 8 months later, they do some sort of a segment on Raw that I want to say involved Mick Foley, where Rikishi kind of becomes a babyface again. Next thing you know, he's back there dancing with Too Cool again, and it was crazy. It's their density. Actually, he may not have been dancing with Too Cool again, but he was back to being a face. And then the stink face stuff was all happening. All right, this is very dramatic. WrestleMania 17, indelible vignette or promo or advertisement. I was excited. I mean, they were going back into a stadium here for the first time in a bunch of years since WrestleMania 8, I guess. Because 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 were all just in regular, normal-ass arenas. Oh, I love that they're playing the old WrestleMania theme. The first 2 WrestleMania themes are my favorite. The one that they used for, like, WrestleMania 6 and 7 and 8 and 9. Or no, maybe 6, 7, and 8. And then the one they used for 9 and 10 and 11 and so on. That was my other favorite one. Linda McMahon used it as her theme song, too. Here comes Kurt. Kiss your championship goodbye there. You know what I don't like about that graphic right there is I'm pretty sure that picture of Kurt Angle, that render already existed, and they just placed the championship belt over him. He didn't really take that photo with the belt. Look at there's Undertaker in his pimp pants. Days of being happy. Rock still had a little bit of that flat top going on back then. Both these guys are losing their hair. I'm allowed to say that. I'm allowed to make fun of them for that. Anybody who has hair can't, but I can. But this was kind of a no-brainer, you know, for me. I'm like, it's Houston. There's going to be a zillion people there. Rock and Austin, that's the match to do. But doing Angle and Austin would have, you know, not been as good. So to me, it was a little bit on the predictable side, because as a fan, you're watching this unfold on TV, and you're saying, of course, Rock's going to beat Kurt Angle. You mean they're not going to do Austin and Rock at WrestleMania? Although they didn't do Hogan and Flair, so I guess stranger things have happened, but TikTok. It's kind of funny with The Rock saying that with Cross. Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't realize, Divine, that Kurt Angle kind of added the ankle lock to his arsenal a little bit later on, or maybe if he was doing it, he certainly wasn't using it as prominently. He was probably relying on mostly the angle slam for the victory, but he should have been doing a submission from the start, really, when you think about it. Michael Cole, Mikey C. Backstreet Boy number 6. How many Backstreet Boys are there? Whatever, one more of however many Backstreet Boys there are. That's who Mikey C is. Mikey C. Listen. Listen. His hair. Michael Cole's hair. Y'all see it, right? Yeah, Rock Cross stole it from him. Rock says it's over. And here comes the man about to drop his title. Well, he had a good run, Kurt. Rock is the guy who beat him for it. It was interesting when you look back on it, too, generally how you would want to normally book this thing is to have The Rock, because The Rock won the WWE title all the way back at the previous year's, well, I guess not Backlash. How did he win it? Retrace my steps. Won it at Backlash, lost it at Judgment Day, wound up winning it back, probably King of the Ring maybe, right? And then carried the title, dropped it to Kurt, I think, at No Mercy. But if he would have just kept running with it, instead of stopping his title run and sticking a Kurt Angle run in the middle of it, normally you would think you would just go with him all the way to WrestleMania to face Austin, who wins the Rumble, who then will finish up his feud with Triple H, and Rock can continue beating challengers along the way. And then, boom, you've got Austin and Rock at WrestleMania, and you're going to know that all the way at the Royal Rumble. You'll know it way back in January, provided that Rock gets past his title defense here. But instead, he's challenging for the title, and he'll win it back just a few weeks before he drops it again to Steve Austin. So even back then, it was great that they gave Kurt Angle a run, but it didn't make a whole lot of booking sense when you look at it like that, because Rock should have just carried the title the whole time, man. And by then, too, you could start pointing out the length of his run. Who can beat this guy? There's one guy who can, somebody who's had his number since day one, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Then you tell the story at WrestleMania where The Rock is he's now Austin's match. Austin can't beat him. He can't get it done. Rock is fighting. He's been the champion all this time. A lot of fans feel like he's ripe to drop the title, but he's just not going to do it. And Austin then realizes that he can't beat him. And so he resorts to, the Vince stuff and the cheating. And, unfortunately it was in Houston and Austin was going to get cheered regardless, but I would have kept the belt on The Rock. Because what would be wrong with having Kurt Angle win the title for the first time right after 9/11 like he did in No Mercy a few months after this, when he would beat Austin for it? And that was such a great moment, but technically it was the second WWE title run because he had the first one when he was a chicken shit heel. So I would have rebooked it that way. No Mercy 2000. Well, next month is October, Ray. Maybe we can stick that one on the list. I want to do a Halloween Havoc or two. I know we did 1 or 2 last year as well. We might have to do 93. I don't think we did 93. I feel like we should do 93. Here we go. Rock early advantage on Kurt, smacking him around. Yeah, Rock was, on his way out to doing more stuff too. The previous year, he had just done SNL, and after WrestleMania 17, that's when they ran that cage match on Raw where he got suspended indefinitely or whatever, so he could go film The Mummy King or whatever. San Francisco on the move. Good run there. Picked up the first down and some. 7-5. What a weird game. 7-5 in the third quarter. Yeah, if I had my choice of watching this or No Way Out 2001, I'm picking No Way Out 2001. You'd rather have Kurt's rookie year than Brock's rookie year, huh? Well, yeah, I guess I could see that. He won a lot of championships. Brock was elevated right to the world title from the moment he stepped in the door. So he had a good first few months. Debuting, annihilating Hogan, winning the King of the Ring, and then he won the title from The Rock. But he had a tumultuous year. By the time he got to Survivor Series, Paul Heyman's turning on him, and Big Show's winning the title. All that shit happened within 8 months of his debut, ascent to the top, and then fall that quickly. Scorpion King. I wanted to say Lion King for a minute. I'm like, I know it's not Lion King. So it was the previous year, I think he did The Mummy, right? And then they wanted to create, because I never saw those movies, but then the Scorpion King was based on the part he had in that movie. Prequel, I think. But yeah, so you knew when he was going to go off and do that's just going to lead to more for him. JR and Taz's announced team. Yeah, that's right. I forgot Lawler is kind of out now since he had that match. Never realized that Lawler was not on the call for this. Good. Thanks for pointing that out. I saw the cameraman falling, or I didn't know what happened, but I saw the muffled mic. I figured something was going on. Some difficulty. Oof. Talking about laying the smackdown is right. Jeez. He's going for it. Sharpshooter on Angle, man. Imagine if we got to see Brett applying the sharpshooter on Angle. How cool that would be. Yeah, Angle was surviving a lot in that early run, you know. He survived that big, crazy Hell in the Cell match. Survived, I think, Triple H the previous month. Survived Undertaker. He survived a lot. Finally, The Rock got him. Oh, almost an interception there. I forgot Russell Wilson's with Denver. That's awesome. She's electrifying and all that stuff. Angle up top. He got crotched. I don't know if we're going to get a superplex here or what. Scorpion King Deathlock. There you go. That's what he should have called it. I'm glad that he called it the sharpshooter, but he didn't apply it that well, but people have applied it worse. I think he applied it better than Sting, to be honest. But nobody did it like Brett. Claudio is the only guy other than Brett that I've ever seen to do it like what I consider to be picture perfect. Nobody else knows what the hell they're doing. Oh my God! Look at the event. Look at security hauling that guy out right in front of the hard cam. That was beautiful. They had that guy. They had that dude by the neck. Get your fuck out of here. Who knows what he did? You have to do a lot to get thrown out in the Attitude Era. You could say pretty much anything. So it had to be something physical because there's nothing that you could say that would get you kicked out of an Attitude Era show. Because not much you could say could be worse than anything they're saying in the ring. That was San Fran's fielding a punt on the 50. Got down to the 40. They're on the move. End of third, 7-5 for those scoring at home. Yeah, Ray, I don't think he's a heckler. He had to have done something else other than heckle. Well, it's the Big Show. Well, what is the Big Show doing here? I had no idea he came out during this. Why is you here? Then why have you came? Okay, I was about to say, I thought Earl was a referee for this match, so Kyoto gets taken out. Didn't you already have a match tonight? What's the point of all this? Maybe WWE knows that the fans knew that we knew that it was going to be Austin and Rock at WrestleMania, so they're trying to just throw a couple of swerves at us to make us think otherwise. Look at Kyoto's tongue. Props to Kyoto for selling with the tongue. The problem with referees selling is they might just be a little too good at it. I love how his music plays. WWE started getting into that habit. Like if Big Show, personally as a wrestler, wanted to come out here and interfere in this match, why would production agree to play your music in the middle of the match unless you're threatening them, play my music now, but they do that shit in the truck. So why would your music play in that situation? See how stupid that is? I've always hated that. The Big Show's really that mad, then he should just walk down there and chokeslam everybody. We don't need to hear that horrible song. Well, there's two D's Nuts signs right side by side. Very original fans. And they're probably... And Rock kicks out. The beauty of the two D's, well, one just says D's, the other says D's Nuts. The beauty of it is that one's in front of the other, so they're completely oblivious to the other. they don't know the other exists because the guy behind can't see the front of the guy in front's sign, and the guy in front can't see because he's facing the ring. Brock's got the title, I think. Grabbed it from Mark Eaton. Damn, Rock. Reverting back to his heel days. You got 3 referees. You got the legends out there. Timmy, White, and Earl, and Kyoto. White's getting Kyoto out of there. Earl is now our official for this. You got Lemmy in a Harlem Heat bandana in the front row. Very excited. And a big kick out. No, I was about to say, I thought the fans were cheering for that near fall. Oh, that was the botch. No, I still don't even think that's the botch. I think there's another one. I thought Angle kicked out of a rock bottom or something. There's the ankle lock. It's a great move for Angle to use. He should have been doing that from the beginning. No. Oh. Look at Angle. I love this as you start seeing the side that Angle really does possess. I'll break your fucking ankle. I love that. I guess I missed that. I guess I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking this ref botch that I remember in my head was coming later. But the fans really popped for that, like they thought that was the finish. In my head, it was a different one. Yeah, Fox Star Killer's right. The Hebner's botch is still to come. I didn't think that was it. I was like, did I zone out and didn't pay attention to the finish or something? Look at that ring is all torn up. Nowadays, I'm pretty sure they just tie a bunch of ring mats on top of each other. That way, after a crazy match, they can just remove it, and you got a fresh mat underneath. I think that's the way they do it now. Ooh. He calls that the spine buster. Is that what he calls it, JR? Did he miss? Oh, he made it. Must be, what, 10-5 now or something? Is that what this game is? Or was that an extra point? Oh, here comes the people's elbow. One rope. 2 ropes. The most electrifying. What happens? Nope. Okay, that was a legit kick out. That wasn't a botch. Yo, Spaz, what's up, dude? Chiming in with 20. Currently loading the next edition of WWE Last Week. Be sure you check it out tomorrow morning at 10, Toronto, Canada time. I believe that's East Coast for us. Also, since the first NXT War Games was 3-on-3, how about Legado versus Imperium versus Brutes? I'd be into that. I think they're saving War Games for main eventers, though. Very generous drop tonight, Spaz. Thank you so much for that $20. I'd have Roman in the Bloodline in War Games. That's what I feel like they're building towards. But it would be great. Somebody proposed one earlier on that I really like, too. I feel like this might be a good way to get Roman involved in a match without him, having to be in a title match. It would really add value to the War Games match itself if he had Roman in it. I would do something like that. I would make War Games a main event affair and use main event talent in it. Not that Gunther couldn't be one of them guys. Holy crap. Oh, the steel ring has been exposed. It's solid steel as opposed to semi-solid steel. Ooh, Rock took it hard, right between the eyes. Angle slam. Is that it? Are we going to enter a parallel universe where Angle is champion? No, Rock survived getting hit with the exposed ring post and took Angle's finish. I feel like that was similar to how he won the title. Didn't he hit? Rock got hit with something. I think maybe Rikishi came in. And Angle slammed him and got the win. Rock gutted it out. War Games would be an excellent place, too, to do the Sammy turn. Maybe do a situation where Roman gets fed up with Jay's attitude. Oh, Angle into the buckle. He tells Jay that he's out, Sammy is in. And then at the end of the match that they win, they all get in the ring, celebrate, and since they're inside of a cage, they all beat the shit out of Sammy. Rock bottom. Here it is. Here's the botch. Oh, that's so embarrassing. Oh, my God. Earl, how was that miscommunicated? I don't understand how Earl did not... Was he thinking Angle had to kick out of that? Have we ever heard a shoot interview or any... did Bruce ever talk about this? Look at there. There's another one. Get down here. Now it is. Earl's got to feel bad. Yeah, that's not good. Botching the finish like that. I wonder if Earl got chewed out for that. I wonder whose fault that was. Anybody ever heard the story on that? I don't recall ever reading about it. Or if there was ever an explanation given. Two of them. Yeah, Jim Ross is right. We can start pushing to WrestleMania now. Rock wins the title again. That's got to be, what, his third title by this point? Fourth? Won it at Survivor Series. Won it at Backlash, King of the Ring. Here again, probably his fourth by my count, I think. Yeah, really curious how that got screwed up, especially when it was such a definitive finish. You know, Rock hit the rock bottom, and that just should have been it. Why would Kurt Angle kick out? And plus, Earl knew that Rock was going over, so even if Earl fucked up and his hand went all the way down, he'd be like, well, the match is over, I guess. Rock was going to win anyway, so what does it matter? Rock was pissed about it, but eventually cooled down once they got to the back. I don't know why Rock would be pissed off at Angle for this unless Angle had somehow communicated that he was going to kick out, and then I don't know. Crazy, though. Well, Kurt wasn't, though, Ace. Kurt really wasn't a transitional champion, because think about who he transitioned the title to. Who did he beat for the title? The Rock. Who beat him for the title? The Rock. So all he did was transition the title from The Rock to The Rock. So I don't think he was really transitional. However, we did talk about how his run is weird, that I firmly believe you could have held off on Kurt Angle's title run for a little while, and you could have just had Rock's run be uninterrupted going into WrestleMania 17, where he would lose to Austin. Austin would go heel, and then Kurt Angle would win his first WWE title in Pittsburgh right after 9/11, where he beat Austin. He got the Heroes welcome and the Hero celebration. His family was in the ring. That would have been a great first championship for Kurt Angle, I think, first world championship. So I would have rebooked the whole thing like that. But it was a fun time nonetheless. And, oh, cool, Anthony, he says Angle talked about this botch on his podcast as well. So cool. I'll have to look up and see if I can find some comments on that, because now I'm somewhat curious. Rock was pissed at Earl. I'd imagine he would be. But, they would make up. Earl would go on to referee the rest of, a lot of big Rock matches. So probably not a big deal at the end of the day, but kind of an unfortunate botch that can affect things a lot, because I was watching this live on pay-per-view as well. So I remember thinking, like, what the F? So, but now we have The Rock as world champion. He's heading into WrestleMania 17 into Houston. First stadium show since WrestleMania 8. And, of course, we all know what happens there. We did a watch-along of that, I think, 2 years ago, year and a half ago, something like that. So, if you want to check that out, you can find it on the watch-alongs playlist. Thanks again for being here tonight, guys. I appreciate it. If you guys don't mind hitting the like button out the door. If you're watching and you're not a subscriber, please make sure you become one. And thanks again. Have a good rest of your evening. I do not have a Raw review planned tomorrow. If for some reason something crazy happens, if we get a Sasha Banks and Naomi return, if we get a Bray Wyatt or White Rabbit return, or anything major, I'll come up. We'll do a quick video about it. But otherwise, WWE's going head-to-head with Monday Night Football right now. They're going to be putting on good shows, but I don't anticipate anything too crazy happening. So we're going to pause on the Monday Night Raw reviews until they are necessary. So as of now, no Raw review, but if something nuts happens, I'll be up here. Otherwise, we'll be back here on Wednesday to watch what should be a pretty fun Dynamite. Juice Robinson taking on Jon Moxley. So anyway, I appreciate you guys being here tonight. Have a good rest of your Sunday, and I will catch you soon.